Meet Richard. Rich loves dogs and he has a website with some great tips on how to train your dog. His special dog training course is bringing sales, but Rich has noticed that when he illustrates his tips with great and relevant images, people talk about his pages and tell others about them, and he gets a lot more visitors and some pretty good money. And in the cases when he only has text on his pages, people quickly lose interest and leave. Rich knows how important good images are, because without the right illustrations, his message loses most of its power. They don't say for nothing that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Soon, Rich wants great images everywhere. In his web pages, articles and videos. He thinks that the best thing to do is to make and edit the images himself, so full of enthusiasm, he cranks up his Photoshop. Alas, it doesn't take long before Rich finds out how exceptionally time-consuming this is, and it requires a considerable set of skills too. He simply doesn't have the time to run his business and to enjoy his life. Rich is making money though, so he hires a graphics artist to help him out. Problem solved. Well, not really. His artist is quite expensive and everything takes forever. Rich has to negotiate the terms, he has to convey what he wants to the artist, which doesn't always work well, and then he has to wait and wait for the job to be finished before he can use it. And his money is slipping away. Then Rich has an idea. He buys a big graphics package. This gives him an economical price per image, and he can use them immediately. The problem is, no matter how big the package is, Richard can never find everything that he needs in there. He buys another graphics package, then another, and soon he is back where he started. What to do? What to do? Then Richard gets another idea. He has heard of iStock Photo and Shutterstock, and he starts buying stock images. But he learns that things are not as good as they seem. First, buying all these images is cutting into his profits. Second, even though he's forking out the money, there are still lots of restrictions as to what he can and what he cannot do with the images he buys. Third, these images have already been seen by thousands of people. They are, after all, stock images. His visitors want something new, something original. By now, Rich is resigned to the fact that this is as good as it gets and that he will never get what he really wants. Even though he knows that there are millions of images on the web, sifting through them and finding the ones that are free, high quality and can be used commercially is an impossible task. Or is it? Suddenly Rich has a revelation. His girlfriend Mandy has heard of WebWarrior Armory and the latest tool in their arsenal, the Image Finders. 5 seconds after paying a single low-cost fee for the lifetime access, Rich is already in the members area and ready to launch the Image Finder. At first sight, it is like any other image search engine until he clicks on the advanced search. Rich can now search for images that are free to modify, share and use, even commercially. And that is not all. For the first time, Rich can specify and get exactly the kind of images that he wants. What's more, he can narrow down the results with precision by the image size, the aspect ratio, colors, the image type, region, domain, and file type. Happily, Rich performs the search and he is stunned by the quality of what he gets. He can quickly check, download and use individual images or select the ones that he wants and download them all in one go. Rich can now get great looking, relevant and free images whenever he needs them without paying a dime. Brilliant! But wait, apart from being able to find the most relevant free images from around the world, Rich can also get the most interesting and most recent ones that can also be modified by using another finder that he has access to, which interfaces directly with Flickr, the world's greatest image depository. Rich quickly does another search, quickly cutting through all the unnecessary fluff, and filters the results to get the most interesting images with the commercial use rights. Rich immediately downloads the size that is right for his web post, and he remembers to give credit to the image author. After finding the solution for all the images he will ever need, Rich is overjoyed. But there is a surprise bonus for Rich when he wants the complete and most extensive coverage of the topic on top of the most relevant, the most interesting, and the most recent. In the members area, Rich finds 3 links to little-known free image depositories. I'd show you the links, but I don't want to spoil the surprise when you join forces with our community of web warriors. As for Rich, he never paid for another image again, and with the extra income thanks to the great illustrations he placed in his pages and videos, he was able to take his girlfriend Mandy on a cruise, marry her, and they lived happily ever after. Join the Web Warrior community now, get full access to image finders, and never pay for your images again.